to get into the best shape of your life. Going into your 40s. There is, and you don't even need a fountain of youth. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi guys, Troy here from Fit Track Coaching, where we help busy parents and professionals over the age of 40 get into the best shape of their lives, faster, stronger, and healthier, simply with the power of habits. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. That way you can stay up to date with all the video content as it rolls along. We bring out videos at least once a week, if not even more. I know the introduction was a little bit hyperbole. Can you get in awesome shape in your 40s? Are you gonna be able to live a healthier life in your 40s? You can. It's simply a matter of taking on new habits, new strategies, and a couple little lifestyle tweaks here and there. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. My top 5 habits and strategies of living the healthiest life you can going into your 40s. The first habit I want to talk about is actually kind of simple. Water. Yes, I know hydration's kind of a cliche strategy and a habit we all know we should do now, but let's make this a little more specific and let's make this a little more situational. I like to give a 1-to-1 strategy when it comes to water, meaning if you take on a caffeinated drink or take in an alcoholic drink, have 1 8-ounce to 10-ounce serving of water for every one of those drinks. So on a weekday, you're probably gonna have yourself your cup of coffee or your cup of tea in the morning to get yourself ready for the day. As you go along, be sure to add 1 cup to 1 bottle of water after that cup of coffee. Why? Well, with the caffeine being a stimulant, you can prevent the crashing of that caffeine with proper hydration. So now the energy that the caffeine brings has a more steady stream and for a longer period of time. Less jittery and spike and less crash. Likewise with alcohol, in our 40s, our recovery systems aren't as super sharp and superhuman as they felt like in their 20s. So hangovers are real. Feeling sick from alcohol is a real situation. The amount you can drink and still be comfortable and be social and be active in your situation changes. So the best thing you can do is to have a balanced approach from serving of alcohol to serving of water, serving of alcohol, serving of water. You ride a healthier buzz that has, once again, less of a spike and less of a crash. And especially with alcohol, where the crashes, they're not as good as caffeine ones, are they? The second habit that I have for anyone over 40 is protein every meal. Boom, mic drop, bye. I'm just kidding. You see, the biggest danger going into mid-30s into the 40s is muscle atrophy, where the muscles in our body is very use it or lose it. The more muscle tissue you have, the more calories you burn day by day. So having a good amount of lean muscle tissue retained and staying on your frame as you age is so important to keeping you healthy. So yes, we are going to be doing workouts. Yes, we're going to be doing exercise, but the best thing you can do to maintain your lean muscle tissue is to have at least 1, if not 2 servings of protein. You're thinking 6 to 8 ounces, maybe 10 per meal, assuming you have about 3 meals a day. Now, I'm not a dietitian, so I can't do anything specific as far as what types and specifics like that, but that's a great rule of thumb to follow. Now, going into our 40s, the biggest thing that starts to diminish is our recovery. Not just our muscle mass, but our ability to recover from stress situations. Stressful job, stressful day, workouts. Being able to have adequate rest, quality sleep is so important to retaining your muscle mass, to retaining healthy function in our body. So having habits that would increase the quality of our sleep is going to be so important. Now, we have a whole video on sleep tips, but just to pick a couple tips out of there and recap it here, you definitely want to cut off stress or work at least 3 hours before bed. And if you can, reduce or minimize blue light devices around your area at least 30 minutes before bed, best case scenario, an hour before bed. Now we're talking smartphones, we're talking blue light lamps, we're talking TVs, we're talking anything that radiates blue light waves into your eyes, because it tells your body, oh, it's still sunlight, stay awake. So to encourage a deeper, more quality sleep, you definitely want to try to say, turn off your smartphone and actually read a book with a warm light lamp, or do any sort of relaxing thing that doesn't involve an electronic device. Now, talking about our fourth habit, yes, I could say, oh, make a habit of exercise. That's pretty obvious now. I'm preaching to the choir at this point. But one thing I do want to talk about when it comes to your exercise is the strength training portion of your exercise. Do you have to create maximal strength? Is it about how much can you lift, bruh? B-R-U-H, bruh? It's not. In fact, in neuromuscular development that translates into function of life, one of the most important things you can do is be able to control your body in planes of motion. It's the ability to, say, get up from the ground, or the ability to pull yourself up from something. Now, one of the big things I would love to encourage is to maintain an adult level of athleticism, which means doing exercises and doing strength training that encourages muscular endurance and joint integrity. What does this mean when it comes to your workout sessions? Try to put a big focus on the eccentric portion of your strength training exercise. So for instance, if I have a weight in my hand, the eccentric portion would be the lowering of the weight or the extension away from the weight. For instance, if I was gonna do a shoulder press like this and the dumbbell comes out of camera frame, the eccentric portion would be the downward motion of the dumbbell, the lengthening of the muscle. As the muscle lengthens and slows down the dumbbell in its ascent, I'm not just dropping the dumbbell. It ain't about how much I can lift up, because of course what goes up must come down. The best thing you can do to prevent injuries and to maintain joint integrity is to work this eccentric motion, is to almost create a shock absorber effect in your muscles. Now you're gonna be able to jump and land in a way where the muscles could take impact and catch yourself. Because if you're able to catch this weight and control it, then you can catch and control you. Let's finish this off with one final habit, and that is just to stand up. Before we talk about controlling athletic movement, let's first get the body even more mobile and even more active day by day. The best thing you can do with the body is to keep it in motion. You see, a lot of us had careers for the past 20 years that may have had us doing the same activity over and over again. Stuff like staying seated and stuff like staying standing or staying in the same station. Now, the best thing you can do for yourself is stand up and change the posture of what you're doing. So let's say you're in the office. The best thing you can do is have a habit of standing up and doing some standing work in between the bouts of sitting. Or if you had a standing job, figure out a way to change the positioning of how you stand. Changing the positioning your body habitually does is gonna keep the entire body mobile, healthy, and able to take on life. So those were my 5 tips and habits that you should adopt going into your 40s. If you had any questions, just shoot them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to FitTrack Coaching so you can keep up with all of our content as we create videos on the week, every week. But in the meantime, this has been Troy from FitTrack Coaching. We'll talk to you later.